Wondering if a guy actually likes you or if he's just being nice to you? Want to know the body language and flirting signs a guy will give off if he's being more than just nice to you? I've got all that coming to you right now. Hey guys, I'm dating coach Ryan Patrick. So this is a big topic to unpack because honestly, guys don't give the clearest signs to show you that they're interested. What you're gonna get out of this video is a host of tools you can take with you to determine if he actually likes you or if he's just being nice to you. So I'm going to distinguish these characteristics into two types of men. The first group of guys is the average guy with little to a fair amount of game. And the second group of guys is the charming, flirtatious guy that has game and is much more natural with women. So in the natural course of your day, you're gonna be running into both of these types of guys. So it's important for you to determine and identify which type of guy you're dealing with so you can properly gauge their level of interest in you. Now, that being said, you're gonna wanna stay to the end of this video so that you can become super sharp and super savvy when it comes to where you stand with a guy. Okay, I'm about to tackle 13 body language and flirting behaviors you're gonna see from guys, which guy will do which behavior when they're interested, and what they'll most likely do when they're just being nice to you. Sign number one, he'll lick his lips. So both the average guy, which is about 95% of men, and the charming guy will both do this. It's just one of those involuntary biological things guys do when we're nervous and we're also interested in someone. Now, I want to mention something up front with these behaviors. We're looking for groups or clusters of behaviors to really determine a guy's interest. One-off behaviors aren't really going to cut it here. Now, one sign isn't going to tell you the whole story, so what you got to do is sit back and try to observe as many of these 13 signs as you can. And when it comes to licking his lips, a guy who's just being nice to you will not have this involuntary response. Sign number two, he'll control the conversation. Now, both types of guy will do this, but the average guy is gonna be a little bit more nervous about this. And because he's a little bit nervous, he's gonna be the guy that's rambling more and talking more because he wants to keep things going with you. Now, the charming guy is gonna take it a step further, and he's probably gonna ask you questions about yourself to get you to start talking. Both of these guys will keep this going as long as they can. Why? Because they enjoy being in your presence. A guy who's just being nice to you will ask you a question or two and then bail out of there pretty quickly. Sign number three, his eyebrows will spasm. Now, if a guy is interested in you, watch his eyebrows dart up and down and watch his forehead condense. This is another body language thing he does subconsciously when he's trying to be more animated and be interested in what you're saying. Now, this one is really fun to watch because these eyebrows literally don't stop moving. They're always doing something. A guy who's just being nice to you will manually raise his eyes to show you he's interested in what you're saying sometimes, but it's forced, and otherwise he's just deadpan with you. Sign number four, he'll stand taller and pull his shoulders back. Now watch both types of guys snap to attention. Now they want to appear bigger and taller around you. The charming guys will be a little bit more smoother with this. You'll probably get a sense that he's trying to put himself together for you, and it might even come across a tad forced. A guy who's just being nice to you won't care about his posture. He'll focus on his words and getting those out so he can move along. Sign number five, he'll air out his shirt. Is it getting hot in here? This is a classic sign guys give off when their sweat glands kick into gear. Why? Because when men are around women that they like, it feels like the temperature just went up 20 degrees. Now, the average guy is going to be fidgeting much more with their clothes, but the charming guys can't 100% control this involuntary response either. A guy who's just being nice to you won't feel the temperature change and probably won't touch his clothing at all. Sign number six, his voice will go higher. Hi, I'm Ryan. Do you come here often? Yes, when we like you, our voice has involuntary pitch control. Now this can rattle us a lot when we're talking to you, and we can become very self-conscious. Now the charming guy will have enough sense to slow down his speech to regain control. The average guy, he has a tougher time with this one. A guy who's just being nice to you will force voice intonation when he has to. Oh, you just started working here? Oh, cool. Sign number 7, he'll be staring. If a guy likes you, and regardless if he's right there in front of you or across the room, you're gonna catch him staring more than once. So when it comes to staring, you're definitely looking for a more than once frequency. Now, if you catch the average guy looking at you, he'll probably look away because he's nervous. However, the charming guy is much more comfortable getting caught. So you might find yourself sharing a little glance with him. Bingo! Interest. Sign number 8, he'll maintain eye contact. Now, eye contact is a funny one. The average guy wants to maintain eye contact with you because he likes you, but it's tough and intimidating. The charming guy, you might feel like you're getting sucked into his vortex a little bit. It's all by design. That's what he wants. He's calm, cool, and in control. A guy who's just being nice to you will maintain eye contact with you, but will purposely break and look across the room just like that. Sign number 9, he'll compliment you. So both types of guys will compliment you, but they're gonna do this in 2 very different ways. The average guy is probably gonna compliment you on something physical. This is because it's easy for him because he thinks you're pretty. The charming guy is gonna take a beat or 2 longer and find something that's a little bit more personal, like a character trait. And it'll most likely be something that's less obvious. A guy who's just being nice will compliment you on benign things like your punctuality and your work ethic. Great report. Sign number 10, he'll bumble his words. Since guys are trying to control the conversation with you, it's more than likely that they're gonna get tripped up somewhere. Now, this is probably due to the fact that their mind is racing and they're just trying to keep up with their thoughts. Now, as we're discussing the trend with the charming guy, he'll be a little bit smoother with this, but by no means will everything be perfect with him. A guy who's just being nice to you won't have his mind racing, probably won't trip up his speech, and just won't have this problem. Sign number 11, he'll escalate through touch. Again, this is one of those behaviors that both types of our guys here are gonna handle differently. Now the average guy, since he likes you, he's gonna want to be physically closer to you, but he's not gonna have the confidence to actually physically touch you. The charming guy, he's gonna go a little bit further than that. If you say something funny, he's gonna laugh, and he's just gonna touch your arm. Or if he's guiding you through a doorway, he might put his hand on the small of your back to guide you through. A guy who's just being nice to you will shake your hand, but will keep a comfortable distance away from you. Sign number 12, he'll seek validation from you. Okay, so each of our types of guys here are gonna be searching for cues that you're into them, like you laughing at his jokes. A guy always wants to know where he stands with a woman that he's interested in. If he feels like he's losing you in conversation, he's gonna work that much harder to reel you back in. A guy who's just being nice to you won't jockey for positioning in the conversation like this and won't need your validation. Sign number 13, he'll be sexual. Now, I'll be honest, I saved this one because this isn't very common for either type of guy because it's a very risky flirting technique. If a guy's being sexual with you, you want to be careful because he might just want sex. And unfortunately, if he wants sex, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's interested in you. He just wants sex. So just understand all bets are off if he's being sexual with you. It's wise not to use this one to determine interest. But a guy who's just being nice to you will never be sexual with you at all. Remember, just 1 or 2 of these behaviors do not tell the whole story. And really look for those involuntary signs. Those are really the big signs, the key signs of interest. And always remember that you will probably have the vibe that he's flirting with you. But the signs never lie. So bookmark this video in case you need a refresher. Now, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What's a sign a guy gave you and you weren't sure if he was interested in you or just being nice? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the flip side.